Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of training while I talk about Genji possibly replacing Retals for Jstn or Talk. Man, I haven't been playing this game at all. I love this game, but I've been slacking, I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing other games and just doing other stuff, so I'm super rusty, dude. So I recently heard about this possible trade because, to my knowledge, it hasn't been like 100% confirmed. I just heard it from this channel, this Rocket League channel called Martian Tero. He covers Rocket League news and updates on RCS and everything like that. He has a pretty good channel. So yeah, he said it's possible because apparently Genji is trying out Jstn and Talk. So it's possible that they could replace Retals. Now, I'm a fan of Retals, okay? I'm a fan of him as a content creator. I like him as a player too. He's not my favorite player, oddly enough, as a pro player. That would be LJ. But in terms of personality, I think Retals is my favorite Rocket League player. Now, even though this trade hasn't been fully confirmed, I do want to talk about if it happened. What would it mean if it happened? How I feel about it. It's mainly my opinion on it. Because I am a fan of Genji. That's the thing that I've been rooting for this year. And they did well in the regionals. They didn't do that well in the Birmingham Major, but that's alright. But overall, I'm a fan of them as a squad. I wasn't even thinking of them replacing a player because I really do like the chemistry they have as a squad because they've been playing for a while now and they have a good chemistry as a team. Okay, they may not have like superstars in their team, although low-key, I think Magic Bear is a superstar, honestly. That guy is goated. But still, you know, it's Magic Bear, Cheese, and Retals. They're not a squad like NRG or the Ultimates that has, you know, like star players. But even still, as a team, they play really well. They're pretty consistent as a team. They have good chemistry as a team. So I wasn't particularly expecting that they would do a trade. But at the same time, they've been together for a while, and if they're not getting results, like good results, I kind of knew they were probably gonna replace a player. They tried replacing Cheese, if I'm not mistaken, for Chronic, and that didn't pan out, so Cheese stayed with them. And now it seems like the next in line is Retals. Now it's interesting because even though I really like this team and how they are, and like I said, I'm a Retals fan, I am a little bit interested to see if Jstn goes into Genji. Because Genji is doing fairly well. They might not be an ace top team, but they could be third or fourth. And with the addition of Jstn, I think, and hopefully, this is me being like optimistic about it, they could probably elevate their game more with Jstn replacing Retals. Again, it's hard to say because you don't know how it's gonna affect the chemistry of the team. But like on paper, Jstn seems like a better player than Retals. You know what I mean? Because yeah, Retals can bump and everything, but Magic Bear can bump and so can Cheese. You know what I mean? It's not like he provides a unique element to the team. I think Jstn is a little bit better than him mechanically and in the air, and overall seems like a more skillful player. So that could benefit Genji. And Talk I know is good, but I don't follow his career much, you know what I mean? But from what I've seen from Talk, and from what I've heard from other players, he's a pretty good player. Now, like I mentioned, I'm a big fan of Retals, alright? But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna blindly just say he's the best player around, or that, that I'm gonna overhype him to like an unrealistic extent. I don't do that, you know what I mean? If he is traded and he goes to another team, I'm probably gonna be rooting for that other team, not Genji, you know what I mean? Because like I said, Retals is my dude. But at the same time, I've gotten used to like the RLCS trading players, so it's best you don't get too attached to a team that's not doing fairly well, because they're probably gonna get replaced, or like there's gonna be a trade, you know what I mean? Like for example, my favorite squad of all time was like Retals, Arsenal, and Sypico from the SSG days. Like I love that squad, dude. Even though I don't particularly like seeing this team get disbanded, the squad get disbanded, I am a little curious to see how Jstn will perform in Genji. Because like I said, Magic Bear is goated, dude, and Cheese is also a really good player. Although Cheese has a lot of potential, but I don't know. Cheese doesn't always live up to that potential. He seems like a player that has all the tools necessary to be a great player, but maybe needs a little bit more time to fully develop those skills. and to, you know, show up when it matters and like lead a little more in the team. Because honestly, I do think in the current roster as it is, Gen G with Retals, Magic Bear, and Cheese, I do think Cheese has the potential to be sort of like the scoring leader of the squad. You know what I mean? At least. And with Jstn, who can also be like a good scorer, they could probably have like a good squad with him. You know what I mean? One thing that I want to mention though is that I remember seeing a stream from RCS. I think it was last year, not this year. It was either last year or 2 years ago, and it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Rizzo stream. Rizzo was streaming in RCS. He was streaming the event, and they had Jstn on for a bit, and they asked him. Somebody in chat asked him like, "Who would you like to have as a teammate?" And Jstn actually mentioned Cheese. I remember that vividly. He gave props to Cheese. Maybe in their personal life they know each other and they get along well. So if that is true and they know each other, maybe that's one of the reasons they're trying out Jstn. It was a Cheese recommendation. Also, this is something that I was thinking from watching Retals team up with Magic Bear and seeing Magic Bear grow and grow more to be like a better and better player. I was thinking during the regionals and the Birmingham Major and just this year that if Gen G doesn't do that well, Magic Bear might be picked up by a better team. Because honestly, Magic Bear, like I said, is goated. Magic Bear is correct, dude. Like I remember watching a Beast Mode video when he was talking about his favorite players and he mentioned Magic Bear. And I think he said the same thing that I've been saying, that he's underrated, bro. He's a really good player. Now you might not realize this, but if you go to Magic Bear's channel and you see his POV, you will see how good this guy really is. He's a little bit on the shy side. You know what I mean? He's a soft-spoken player, or a soft-spoken guy in general. But he's also very chill, very nice, and very skillful. To put it in another way, this guy has superstar potential, but he's a little bit shy to maybe meet that goal. You know what I mean? Meet that expectation. But he definitely has the skill for it. Now, to be honest, I was hoping that this squad had a little bit more time together, because I'm still kind of rooting for them this year, especially if they keep Retals. I'm still going to be rooting for Gen G this year, all the way up to Worlds, if they make it to Worlds, which I think they have a good chance of doing. But if they do replace Retals with Jstn, it will be interesting to see how it pans out. At the same time, it kind of sucks that they had to disband the squad. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted Retals to stick with Magic Bear and Cheese. I like their chemistry, like I've said. That's a little sad, but you know, that's kind of how it goes for teams. You know, it's not about friendships. It's about, you know, getting results. It's about building a winning team. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this possible trade for Gen G. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.